our textbook, that is Chemistry Class 12 CBSE. So if you haven't watched the previous parts, that is part 1, 2 and 3, make sure you watch it and then continue watching. So why do we wait? Let's get into the chapter. So now we'll be dealing with ideal and non-ideal solutions in this session. So over here, first thing, what is an ideal solution? Ideal solution is a solution that obeys Raoult's law at all range of concentrations. So if ideal solution is it obeys, then what would be non-ideal solution? It would be the opposite. That is, it doesn't obey Raoult's law at all ranges of concentration. So that is our first point. Okay, we finished the first point. Second one is delta H mix is equal to 0 in the case of ideal solution. Delta H mix is the enthalpy change, the change in temperature. That is 0. But over here, that is not 0. There is some heat released or heat absorbed. Okay. Then the next one, delta V, the change in volume. There is no change in volume in the case of ideal solution. But in the case of non-ideal solution, there is a change in volume. Okay. So now I will show you about the interactions of particles of ideal solution first. Okay. So let's take 3 containers. Okay. Let's make this container a bit more bigger. This is A, B and C. Over here we have A particles. Okay. And over here we have B particles. Over here we have both of them coming together. So let's draw. And this goes like this. So what is happening over here? Here there is only AA interactions. Okay? And over here there is only what? BB interactions. But over here what is there? There is AA interactions. There is AA interactions, there is BB interactions, and there is AB interactions also. Okay? So that is what is there in the, this is the interaction. In the case of non-ideal solution, we will discuss what is it. Okay, before telling about the non-ideal solution, I will give you an example. Example for ideal solution, a mixture of ideal solution is N-heptane and N-hexane. As discussed earlier, we said what AA interactions and BB interactions are pure solutions, and for an ideal solution what comes AB interactions. So when AA interactions and BB interactions are similar to AB interactions, then only what happens? Ideal solution is formed. There's a point I forgot to mention, that is what if AA and BB are similar to AB interactions, then it is an ideal solution. So can you say something that is so ideal in the world? There's nothing that you can say this is ideal. It's nearly ideal. There is no solutions that is perfectly ideal. All solutions that we know are nearly ideal. Okay. So now we talked about what? Ideal solutions. And next is non-ideal solutions. So for non-ideal solutions, I said what? They are solutions that does not obey Raoult's law at a long range of concentrations. So what does that mean? They deviate from the Raoult's law. So to talk about their interactions, the AA interactions. So this is, now I'll write the case of non-ideal. Okay. So AA interactions and BB interactions are not similar to AB interactions. Then here comes the formation of our non-ideal solution. So we said non-ideal solutions are a result of not obeying, are formed by the result of not obeying Raoult's law. So there is some deviation. So let's see the classification of non-ideal solution. So the 2 types of non-ideal solutions, we will discuss about that. So they are positive deviation and negative deviation. So, to be called as positive deviation, what happens is when the vapor pressure, just assume that the vapor pressure of the liquid is calculated by experimental methods, okay? But by Raoult's law, we also calculated the vapor pressure. So, over here what would happen? The calculated vapor pressure using the Raoult's law and the experiment would have a difference of a positive digit. That is positive deviation. And the negative case, what happens? Vapor pressure calculated by Raoult's law would be lesser than that, higher than that of what you get by doing the experiment. Okay, so let's see what all are the points that comes under positive and negative deviations. As I told you, the positive deviation has a positive difference between the vapor pressures. So how is that? That is because I'm talking about the molecular level reason of why there is a positive deviation. That is the AB interactions, that was when the solution is made, that interactions is weaker than AA or BB interactions. That is AB interactions. The solution has a weaker bond than that of AA and BB. So what would happen? That would increase the rate of what? Evaporation or vaporization. So there would be a high number of molecules in the vapor state. So if there is more number of particles in the vapor state, what is that? There is increase in what? The vapor pressure. That is why it's a positive deviation. Positive deviation, there is a positive value for the difference of what? The vapor pressure calculated. Okay. So that is this case. So over here what is happening? It gives a cooling effect. That cooling effect is, it is because this process is endothermic. To break the bonds between AA and BB, what is that? It will take the heat from the surroundings to break the bond. So what would happen? The surroundings would be cooled. That is why it has a cooling effect. So now to take the case of negative deviation. To take the case of negative deviation, what happens is AB interactions are stronger. It's stronger, and AA and BB are weaker than AB interactions. So what would happen? If the bonds between the solutions are stronger, what would happen? The vapor pressure would decrease because they won't go to the vapor phase. They cannot split and move to the vapor phase. Okay? So this process, what would happen? If you have to break this bond, what happens is there is formation of bonds. So it's an exothermic reaction. So now let's see the example for a positive deviation. So for positive deviation, our example is ethanol and acetone. And over here, there are more examples. I just mentioned one just to give you a rough idea. And the next one is chloroform and acetone. So let us see why this is an exothermic reaction. What kind of bond does it form? So let's see what is that. So now let's draw the example, the chloroform example and acetone example. So let's take C double bond O, CH3, CH3. That is our chloroform. And what else? We have to draw acetone also. So acetone is what? Hydrogen, carbon and 3 chlorine. Okay, so this is this is chloroform. This is acetone. So what would happen? There is a bond formation. Due to this bond formation, there is heat release. Therefore, it is exothermic. Since there is this bonding between these two, what happens? Then chloroform, neither the chloroform nor the acetone can go to the vapor phase easily without breaking the bond. So that is why they have a negative value. Okay, I hope you might have understood it. Now let's get back to the difference between the positive deviations and negative deviations of non-ideal solutions. So over here, this is positive deviation and this is negative deviation. And then the first point over here is the H mix value. The H mix value value would be positive in the case of positive deviation, and the H mix value would be negative in the case of negative deviation. Also, what our delta V mix is equal to positive value. Over here, what happens? Delta V mix is equal to a negative value. Hope you might have understood this. So now we have to discuss about the graphs. So let's see the graphs. In the previous session, that is in part 3, we saw about a graph. In the last, I discussed a graph, no? Which had, let's make the graph. Yeah, you remember? Over here we had mole fraction. Do you remember a graph we drew like this? Yes, that is, okay. So what was over here? That was the vapor pressure. Over here also it's vapor pressure. So what did we take over here? We took chi A is equal to 1, and over here chi A is equal to 0. Chi B is equal to 0. Chi B is equal to 1. Wasn't this the case which we took for ideal solution? The same case only, we are just seeing the positive deviations and negative deviation. So we took that what our solution B was more volatile than solution A, and therefore vapor pressure of B was higher than that of A. So this is B, and let's make this as A. Okay. So from here, what is that? Over here this is maximum 1 to 0. So let's draw. Yeah. And then next one is, let's ideal solution be the same. Okay. So from here, what is happening over here? Chi B is 0 and over here chi B is 1. So let's make the graph like this. Okay, this was what we got. And then what was this? This was the total vapor pressure. So this is the vapor pressure of A, vapor pressure of B. Okay. So this was the case of what? Ideal solution. Now what are we discussing? About non-ideal solutions, and we have two different categories for non-ideal solutions, that is positive deviation and negative deviation. So let's make the graph in the same thing itself. So I'm just rubbing these what all we wrote right now, that's it. So yeah, let's take the case of positive deviation first. So what did we say? This is what we get by using Rawls law. So in the first case, positive deviation, what does it show? It shows a little more increase, not decrease. It shows an increase. So the graph would look like, yeah? Am I right? Over here also it will be the same, no? So what would happen to the total vapor pressure? That will also increase. So this red color is for positive deviation. And black is what? Ideal. Okay, now we'll take another color. Green is for what? Negative deviation. You know, by the way, these two are what? Non-ideal solutions. Okay. So let's see for the negative. What was negative? It will be lower than the calculated value, that calculated by Rawls law. So what would be that? From here it will go like this. Same way from here also. This is the graph. Total vapor pressure would be like this. I guess this is a confusing graph right now. So let's just make it one by one and I will show you. Okay. It's actually the ideal solutions and non-ideal solutions. I told you ideal solutions, pure ideal solutions doesn't exist. Ideal solution even shows some of the non-ideal characteristics. It's not pure solutions, we don't have pure solutions. So this would be the graph for what? Our positive deviation. See, only the positive part and the ideal I have shown here. So this is the positive deviation. Okay. So in the case of negative deviation, what would happen? This would move and the green lines which we draw before would come into place. So that would be below this ideal solution. Over here, And did you notice all the lines were above the ideal solution lines? Am I right? Now what happens is it's below. So I'm just using black itself. So it will look like this. Yeah? Even here it is below. See? Here also it's below. So this is the negative deviation. So now we have to learn about something known as azeotropes. So let's see what's azeotropes. Before discussing about the azeotropes, this is how the graph will look. Azeotropes. So what are azeotropes? Binary mixtures with same composition in liquid and vapor phase and boils at a constant temperature. So, what is a binary mixture? We discussed about the types of mixture on the basis of the number of components. So, binary mixture is mixtures with two components. That is, there are only two components for the formation of this mixture. So, this is a binary mixture with what? The same component in both liquid and vapor phase. And also, it boils at a constant temperature. These are the points that you have to note. What all are they? They are having same composition at liquid and vapor phase and also boils at a constant temperature. And so to talk about azeotropes, we have two types of azeotropes. Okay? So there are two types: minimum boiling azeotropes and maximum boiling azeotropes. So let's see. This is minimum, this is maximum. So minimum boiling azeotropes are what? Due to the positive deviation. Okay? And maximum boiling is negative deviation. Okay? So solutions that show negative deviation, some of them are azeotropes and some of them are which shows positive deviations are minimum boiling azeotropes. So the examples for minimum boiling azeotropes are 95% ethanol in water. That is for minimum, that is for positive deviation, and for negative deviation 68% HNO3 and water. Okay? So, to talk about azeotropes, azeotropes acts as what? Pure solution. So, acts as pure solutions. But we know it's not actually pure solutions. Okay? So, the second point is that this solution cannot be separated by fractional distillation. Okay, let us also talk about what is azeotropes. I hope you might have understood what is azeotropes. Let's move to the last topic, that is a special case of Raoult's law. So let's see. Special case of Raoult's law. So what is Raoult's law? PA is equal to P0A into chi A. So this is according to Raoult's law. Sorry, R-A-O-U-L-T-S. So Raoult's law. The next one is we have to equate, or let's see the Henry's law equation. So what is that? That is also PA is equal to KH into chi A. That is Henry's law equation. So, if you have to say that what the Raoult's law equation is equal to Henry's law equation, what should be, the condition, or how can you say it is the same? What is the component that you can see different in this equation? That is P0A. Okay. P0A and KH are the only difference that you can see in this equations. So if you have to equate what Raoult's Rolle's law is equal to Henry's law, what should happen? That is, KH should be equal to P0A. If that is equal, then what would happen? PA of Rolle's law is equal to PA in Henry's law. So the change that comes between these two are only in the KH and P0A values. So that is all to talk about what is the special case. So friends, I hope you might have understood the video. If you have understood the video and liked my video, please give my video a huge thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you are new to it. And share my videos with your other friends. So see you on my next video. Till then,